in starting over, I actually had to file bankruptcy and really start over. And I had to do a lot of soul searching and praying about that whole process because, you feel as if you're a failure and you start questioning what you have done in the past and how did you get here in the first place. I am responsible for my actions. You have to be a steward over little. I'm paraphrasing. You have to be a good steward over little before he can give you much. If I can't handle the little bit, I anticipate to get the stuff that I'm really asking for, like the big stuff, the goals, how I expect to get that if I can't even manage this part. God gave us our temple, which is our body, that we must take care of. And the way we honor him is taking care of those things that he gave us. He gave us a job, he gave us income. We take care of the money, we honor him. We take care of ourselves, we honor him.
Change doesn't mean the end. It doesn't mean the end at all. It's a new, but this probably maybe sound cliche, but it's the beginning to write another. It's the opportunity for a new chapter. We have to realize the people that we love that we did lose, they left part of them to us so we can pass it on. So it doesn't end.
I couldn't even let you down, not even you, but myself, because I felt like God puts you right there
in the face, on the aisle,
for a
that aisle.
Right, on that aisle for a reason, and there was no way I was gonna ignore that.
Part of starting over is knowing that you can do this again.
Oh yeah, right. If you don't get it right the first time, then you do it again.
You do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's gonna be okay. So.
Yes, it's gonna be okay. Welcome. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Well, thank you for coming back to another episode of the SOS podcast, also known as
Starting
Over Sisters. Whoop, whoop. I'm Vera.
I'm Grace.
And I'm Katina.
And we are so glad that you are here to listen to another one of our episodes. So today we're going to have Grace tell us what we're going to be talking about today.
Well, today we're talking about midlife changes. Midlife can be a time of many, many changes. And today we're going to actually focus on each other. So it's more of a personal level. So we're going to ask each other questions. So thank you for vibing with us in this journey. So I'm going to start with Vera. You ready to ask a little questions about midlife changes?
Let's get it on.
Okay. All right, Vera. So what is a midlife change that you have experienced that you want to share in relation to starting over? Please describe.
Well, the midlife gone through numerous amounts, but I would say one main one would be my finances. That was a major part for me because in starting over, I actually had to file bankruptcy and really start over. So that took a lot, and I had to do a lot of soul searching and praying about that whole process because you feel as if you're a failure and you start questioning what you have done in the past and how did you get here in the first place. So that's one of my main midlife changes that I've gone through.
Okay. Wow, thank you for sharing. How has it affected you personally?
Bankruptcy is not fun. Just let y'all know that it is not fun at all. It's not fun. It definitely was a wake-up call for me. knowing that it stays on my credit for like 7 years, and that, that stigma and not being able to do things, even though it wipes off your credit and stuff, but it really messed up my mental state, because I really started to question who I am and like I said before, how did I even get to this place? Like, why? Why? And the funny thing about it is that, I have one of my brothers, my older brothers, he had filed bankruptcy like years ago. And he told me years ago, make sure you take care of your credit, work your finances properly. But even so, no one ever talked to me about finances. Like, my mother and father didn't have a discussion about finances. They just say, save your money. To do what? Like, why am I saving my money? Like, what? What's the purpose? What am I doing it for? Why am I doing it? And I came from my mom and dad. I'm gonna say it. Yes, I was spoiled when I was younger. They didn't say no to much. They said no to some things, but they ain't say no to much. And like, my dad would make sure I would always have money. So I think my relationship with money, that really took a hit personally, because I didn't have a good one.
That's very powerful. That's very powerful because, even in our community, that says a lot. So I really appreciate you for sharing. What have you learned from the experience yourself, and do you regret the choice that you have made?
What I have learned is that I have to be better in managing my money, because I made a lot of mistakes with it. It's also enabled me to really start over. And with me being able to start over, it definitely helped in my life, because I was able to actually buy a house, get a car, and things of that nature. It's not something that I would advertise to people to do like all the time, honestly and truly. But I don't regret doing it. That I don't regret. That I don't. It was necessary and it was needed at the time that it happened, and it's okay. I've learned to accept it and forgive myself in this process, because I am the I am responsible for my actions. He gives us wisdom, and we need to use it. And at that particular time, that was the best choice for me. And I'm okay with it now. I'm okay with it now.
That's right. And we've seen witness of how God really just, restored in your life. So thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, Vera, this is very powerful. Thank you. So if you don't mind, I just want to ask, how has this affected your family?
Ooh, child. So I am like the baby out of 5. And like I said, my brother warned me years ago. And like, I'm the only one in my family that finished grad school, and actually on my way to doing things. And I made my family proud. And doing this made me feel like I said, like a failure. And for my family, like I said, we never had discussions about finances, and I am the person, like how would you say it? I'm like the first one to do everything. You know what I mean? And then
Trailblazer.
Yeah, the trailblazer, exactly. And then to go and do this, it put a strain. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it put a strain, and we had to, especially like with my husband and I. He's like more of a saver. He's really good at money. But I was the spender, and that put a strain on our relationship, in our marriage, because you are in a marriage and where you feel that you can trust the person to do things, and it didn't happen that way because I'm not doing right with the finances that you know we're doing. And I think one of the main things is, like, in the Bible says God asks you to be a steward over, you have to be a steward over little. I'm paraphrasing. You have to be a good steward over little before he can give you much. And if I can't handle the little bit, like, I anticipate to get the stuff that I'm really asking for, like the big stuff, the goals, how I expect to get that if I can't even manage this part. So worked on it. It's still a work in progress, trust me. It ain't just stopped.
Oh yeah, that's with anything. So I want to just dig a little bit deeper, Vera, in that, if you don't mind. What were some of the things that you were purchasing?
Girl. like oh, and I'm gonna say an impulsive shopper, like, for real.
Okay.
Like going to the mall after work when I ain't got no business being in it. None. Because of something stupid that happened at work or whatever the case may be. And to walk around and say, you know what, I deserve to get this today. Yeah, I could buy this. I could buy this. Let me move this around to make this work. And I can get that bag today. So I need that outfit.
You was using it as a coping mechanism to deal with some of the stresses that you were going through at work. Shopping.
That part. That part. And then justifying it. Because that's what we do. We sit there, we analyze it to the hilt and be like, oh, that's my justification. Got it. But then afterwards, you feeling so guilty about the whole situation and the process. Like, why did you do that? Now you just made it worse for you.
Buyer's remorse.
Buyer's remorse. Mm-hmm. But mostly, like, going inside the mall to buy stupidness.
Yeah. So what is one thing you would want to leave with the Starting Over Sister audience in reference to finances?
One of the main things I want us as especially as women, Black women, I'm all for us, you give God first, but take care of you first. Because it's like we always give ourselves the leftovers. We got to take care of ourselves and what that looks like for you. For me, at this juncture right now, self-care is so important for me. So I put in my budget, and that's a line item, just like bills are, self-care.
Yeah.
And that's mine. That's for me. Because at the end of the day, if we don't take care of ourselves, who gonna do it? No. God gave us our temple, which is our body, that we must take care of. And the way we honor him is taking care of those things that he gave us. He gave us a job. He gave us income. We take care of the money. We honor him. We take care of ourselves. We honor him. I'm going to take care of me first. Because if I'm not here, God forbid, what? Oh, she was such a beautiful woman. She was so good. She just didn't take care of herself.
Right.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that. But I would say that we as women, you tithe. If you believe in tithing, do that 10% first, and then you put yourself as a priority. Put yourself as one of those line items in your finances.
Absolutely.
Because you're worth it. And don't ever think that you're not. Don't ever think that you can't afford it. Even if it's you're buying bubble bath to take a bubble bath one time a week, then do it. I'm not saying to go take a trip to Switzerland and you ain't got but $10 in your account. No, that's not what I'm saying. But if you want to save up for that Swiss trip, Then go
Right.
ahead and save up for your Swiss trip. But
Absolutely.
make sure that you are taking care of, you take care of, the four walls, and take care of you. Because at the end of the day, there's only one of you. We can't replace you. Take care of you. Engage in self-care. That's what I would say in your finances. Engage in self-care.
That's right. Thank you, dear.
I hope that I help somebody with something. Just help somebody. So we are going to go into asking Grace about her midlife changes. So, Grace, can you tell us what is a midlife change that you have experienced that prompted you to start over?
Well, my midlife change that I experienced was I would say a different situation, but really really changed my life. So I became a first time mom at 38, and then had a second child at 39. After challenges with infertility,
Mhm.
um, in the midst of the new change, I lost my mom when my second child, which was a surprise. I lost my mom when he was 2 months years old. So that was a midlife change that
Mhm.
really
Wow.
was sudden, anticipated, and sudden. So it definitely changed a whole dynamic of my life.
Mm, that's a lot. That's a lot. Thank you
Yes.
for sharing that. Right.
Mhm.
So, can you tell us how has the midlife change affected you personally?
I've learned, with loss, well, life about life, the whole life cycle, right? It is a true thing when something begins or ends. It actually is a revolving circle. So it taught me about how life, when something is the end, something is beginning. Even
Mhm.
though how it affect me, I realized that I'm stronger than I thought I was with God help, because I didn't
Mm,
realize it was something that we always say, oh, what if something happened to my mom, what I'll do, right? you know and at that certain time with me becoming a new mom, I always looked to her to teach me and all of that, and or even though she taught me about her life, but it changed me in a whole new way of looking at life, of how it is that life continues, even though that it seems that something has ended, but it really continues by what our mother, our parents, put in us. It
mhm.
continues with our next generation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So in a way, it inspired me, even though it was a loss. It was an isolation, I would say, because grief can isolate you. I noticed that, and then you start questioning who you are, especially the two dynamics. A part of me has is gone, but a part of me is here.
Mhm.
So it's a different way of looking at life, and it's a certain dynamic that I know that I'm different, right? So
Yeah.
it definitely made me say, hey, I'm stronger than I thought with God, and I am important because I'm here now. I'm here. I continue. So
Yeah, amen to
Amen to
that.
that.
Grace, what have you learned from the experience yourself?
I've learned that we don't have control over our life. We don't,
Yeah.
as much as we think we have control,
Mhm.
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 we don't.
Yeah.
Whether it's planning for a family, whether it's oh, my mama gonna be here, she gonna be with her grandkids. It lets me know that, we're not in control. I don't know what's gonna happen the next day, because suddenly people can be here, and things we planned out a whole different life, but now when something suddenly has happened, someone is taken away,
Mm.
or even with the dynamic of having new little children, that we're not in control. And, we have to really lean on, hey, God is in control. I definitely, but that's too much pressure to, to know, to just accept that we're not in control of life. That's what I've learned.
Now, do you regret the choices that you have made?
Not with the children. definitely not with the children. Sometimes I always play back the time my mom was living,
Mm,
those last days. But a lot of times we can't because whatever's gonna be, we know we did the best that we could, all that we can do. We need to just trust that, right?
yeah.
Especially when we ask God what to do with some things, because my mom had to be on hospice during the time of everything. But it's priceless that time I spent with them, and so I don't regret it. I'm actually thankful that I'm thankful due to my situation that she was able to see her grandchild before she died, even though the baby, the youngest was 2 months and my little
Right.
one, my daughter was 1 year, 1.5. But I don't, I know it's all about timing. God already knew. So
Mhm.
I'm glad that I did choose, some decisions that I made for her to remain with me, even though it was difficult because she had a choice to stay, like go into like a rehab or do hospice. And I'm glad because that time was during when everything was breaking out with COVID and everything. So, um, but she didn't pass of COVID, but I'm glad that I made the decision to advocate for her, just bring her on home
Yeah.
with us so she was able to be with family because they were shutting everything down at the time. They were shutting down nursing homes and basically
Right.
no one can come back and forth. So I don't regret it. Even though it was pushing me to say, hey, if she just go and go to rehab with the speech and all of this. But
Mhm.
I'm glad that we have to listen. We have to know, and we
Mm,
have to know how to shut her down. We need to pray about things. So I don't regret, and I thank God that I made that choice, and she was able to see her children, her own grandchildren.
Right. Now, how has this affected your family?
A lot. It affected me in so many different ways. I tell you.
Mhm.
Um, but it did bring um a lot more insight. It brought me and my brother a little closer, and
mm,
even my biological father brought us a little closer too. Because sometimes sorrow and grief has a way of bridging. I noticed.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah, there are times in families that it can separate, but it also it's an opportunity to bridge and restore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I I appreciate the relationship with my dad is a lot better, and I'm grateful and I thank God for that. And you know, but because my mom mostly raised me, so it's a blessing to know that through the sorrow, through the grief, that it brought us even more closer.
Yeah. I want to interject in this part because I don't know if people know, and Grace is so modest, but even during this time, Grace was actually studying to get her license, her LCSW, on top of all of this.
Wow.
So, yes, sister, you are extremely strong and God continue to watch over you. But it was truly a blessing that you were able to do that too, in addition to everything else.
Mm.
I thank God of that. And right before my mom had the stroke, thank you, Vera. It's like, but she pushed me as well. I was 8 months. I took this. I was like 7 months pregnant, and I said I wanted because I had it was a motivation too because my mom
Mhm.
she was getting sicker and sicker, and I felt like it was just like a push or something. It was number one, she motivated me, but it's like God already knew what was ahead, because I know if she would have passed, I wouldn't have been able to focus, you know. So
Mhm.
he was there when I was studying, when I took the test. So I thank God for that moment. Thank you, Vera. But I know it's all because of God and the timing of Him. It's just a
Absolutely.
motivation with everybody. This really, we don't know how we are blessing each other because you don't really know what people are going through, right? So
Right.
Right, right.
it taught me that as well. It taught me you don't know what people are going through, and it highlighted how I look at life. My lenses of my
Mhm.
eyes the spiritual, emotional eyes have been opened.
Mhm. Oh yeah. We don't
So
know
what?
what other people are going through. I'm gonna
Right.
piggyback on that. We don't know what other people are going through in the time that they're going through, and that we need to learn to give each other grace as well as ourselves. Okay.
Yeah.
Got to.
Yes.
Got to.
Grace, what is one thing you would want to leave with the Starting Over Sister audience?
Change doesn't mean the end. It doesn't mean the end at all. It's a new bit. You know, this probably maybe sound cliche, but it's the beginning to write another. It's an opportunity for a new chapter in life
Mhm.
that God has given us. In my situation with the death of my mom, I really thought my life thought it was over. Like, but then when I looked, I couldn't stop because my children were looking at me. They were babies, like right, they was looking at me. So it was a
Right.
reminder, constant, like you know, battling grief, postpartum, and then all this kind of thing. But by them looking, I had two little ones looking at me like, okay, we don't know what's going on, but we need this, right? So change doesn't mean the end. And it was a constant reminder because it was two things going at the same time. It was a new beginning of birth and then of life and then it was death. So um, it doesn't end. It's a chance to write a whole new chapter. And we choose life, you know, and we have to realize the people that we love that we did lose, that they left something part of them to us so we can pass it on. So it doesn't end. Life doesn't end.
Death does. I know death seems so final for the person that's involved, but as we are still here, we have to like keep pushing because we owe. I hate to say like we owe that to them that much, but we owe it to ourselves,
Hmm.
because we're still here. God left us here for a purpose and a reason, whatever that may be. We still keep pushing. And whatever grief looks like for you is fine. And don't let anyone ever tell you, oh, you've been mourning too long.
Hmm. Right. It's
Because
individual.
everybody does it at their own time and pace.
Pace. Yeah.
And you are not
Mhm.
obligated by anybody else's standards except for your own.
Right. Because, like you said, grief is different for everybody. Everybody grieves differently. You
Hmm.
have some people that cry. You have some people that's not going to cry. I mean, it's just different from everybody. You might have some people
Absolutely.
that grieve for a year. Some might grieve for 6 months. It's just different. So
It
we
is.
Absolutely.
have to give that person still their time and their space. As
Mhm.
they go through that
Don't let
process.
nobody push you on that ever. It is a
Right.
process, just like you said, Katina. It's a process, and it
And
it, it continues. Like my mom has passed away, what, going on 13 years, and I can't tell you that I don't miss her. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do. I still miss my mom. My dad,
right.
he's been gone for over, jeez, it's like 20 years, and I miss my dad.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not stuck at the place of when he died, but I still miss him. We all experience the loss, and we miss them, and that's okay. Yeah, and then I'm bringing this up because I remember somebody had told my sister because she lost her son, my nephew, in 2020, and he's very young. Um, and it was just that he drowned, which is horrible. But somebody actually had the audacity, his birthday came up, but we always remember him and stuff on Facebook. And somebody had the audacity to say, oh, um, there's nothing you could do about it. He's gone. Let it go.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. What?
Right.
What? And, the person, they were like, well, that's not really what they meant. That's the,
Right.
regardless, I
Right.
would
Exactly.
never wish that on my worst enemy. Okay, losing a child, first of all, is not that's not order, right? That's not order.
Absolutely.
And
That's
your
not
job
right.
is supposed to
Out of
bury you.
order.
You're not supposed to bury your child. right? So like, why would you even think that's okay?
Right.
Don't. Cannot. Like, even if you thinking it, keep it to yourself. Okay. Let's just say that. Just keep it, because not everything needs to be said. Okay. Not everything needs to be said. So just keep it to yourself. And grief, as we all said, it's different for everybody. It comes in many different forms. It comes in many different time lengths. But give yourself grace.
Right. And anything can trigger, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now think about my youngest, you know, on March the 20th of this year will be her father's 1 year that he passed. So, you know, she is constantly, you know, grieving and crying, you know, and, you know, come into my room at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, you know, and I'm saying, what's wrong? And she was like, you know, I miss my dad. And I tell her, I understand, you know, it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. I know you miss him, you know. I tell her, I miss him too, you know, that was my friend. So, you know, so, and just to let her know that I'm here for you, I'm with you know, through this process. And, you know, if you gotta cry, yell, scream, whatever it is you have to do, you know, do it. Don't hold it in, because that's not healthy.
Right. Right.
And just still, you know, trying to explain that to I mean, she was 17, she's 18 now, but still, you know, a child, a young adult, it's still hard. It's still hard to, you know, try to explain, you know, get her to understand, you know, what happened and how not to take everything that maybe every little negative thing that happens to you, you can't combine all that together, you know, because that's something that we definitely could not control.
No. Right.
You know? So just trying to get her to separate some things, you know, things happen. But I mean, she struggles with that, you know, with missing her dad, you know, because it was last year prom time, you know, and now we go again this year prom time.
It triggers a lot.
Yeah.
You know, she's getting ready to graduate in May from high school. So
for the special, you know, that time and father's not being there, it's hard. It is.
Yeah. I mean, even like those, you know, the first birthday. That you remember, you know, the first birthday and they're not here. The first Christmas, they're not here. The first Thanksgiving, they're not here. Like, you know, Grace talked about the birth of her children and her mom actually being able to see. She saw both of them, right?
Yeah, she was at least able to see them, even though
you know,
even though it was timing but
even those things, whatever it may be. And you know, you brought up a really good point, Katina, like don't hold that in. Don't hold that in. And if you need someone to talk to, please seek therapy, seek counseling, and it's okay. That makes you more of a aware person and better for you. Better for you, because that's what we're talking about here. You know, we're starting over in various facets of life, but all of that is all a part of making a better you. All of it. It's a better you, the best possible version of you. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. Wow. Thank you, Grace, so much for like sharing that stuff with us.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, Katina, got some questions for you, boo.
Yes.
All right, so first question I want to ask you is, how have you been impacted by health challenges during your midlife?
So, you know, as Grace stated earlier, how there's different things that we go through in life that you're starting over with. You know, it's a plethora of things. It's just not a career, it's a lot of things, stuff that you probably would say, oh my God, you know what? I started over. Yeah, you started over. So health challenges was one for me. I have faced various health challenges that have impacted my overall well-being. And I mean, it goes from a range of, dealing with your hormones as women.
Yeah, the hormones. You say it, sis. Talk about it. Talk about it. Oh,
Yeah.
Those hormone changes, mental health changes, all of that have, impact me in some way, shape, or form. Oh my God. And but I have been able to push through it.
So is there like one in particular, or they were like all the same?
So one in particular, I'm gonna tell you about kind of what prompted me to prioritize making healthier decisions or healthier choices, for my well-being. So I had gone to the doctor, and she said, you're pre-diabetic. And I was like, what? What you mean? She was like, yeah, you need to lose some weight. You need to watch your eating. You need to, she just had this list of things I needed to do. And you know how, like when you're watching, let's say Charlie Brown back in the day, you hear that wah, 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 wah.
Wah, wah.
And I was like, I didn't hear nothing else but diabetic and wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have got to make some changes. Okay. So that was just going to my regular doctor. So then a few weeks later, I had to go see my endocrinologist. And he's a very sweet man. I love him. He's so humble. Good bedside manners. Oh my God.
Awesome.
That's important.
Yes.
Very. Very.
And he sat me down and he said, okay, were you aware that you're pre-diabetic? And I said, yeah. He was like, okay, well, you really need to work on this, a little bit harder. Your weight is still the same, so I felt like he was really getting on me, and I hadn't seen that side of him. And I was like, oh, okay. But when I heard it from him, I don't know what reason, but I decided, you know what, I got to get myself together. And so I had to make some changes. I had to start, it's like starting over. My whole health regimen, starting over, making things better. So after, going to see both of those doctors, at that point is when I said, I got to make a change for myself. Because I do not want to be on any insulin, because I witnessed, other family or friends, on insulin, and mentally, and I'm like, I don't want to go through that. Absolutely not. So yeah, I had to make some changes within my lifestyle. Definitely some change. And they were, whenever you're making changes, it's always hard.
Yeah.
Because you get stuck in your own routine of doing things, eating things.
Man, the fries and cheese, child. The cheese fries. That'll get me in trouble every day. I'm just saying. Those lifestyle, I mean, the health changes, changing your diet and all of that. Like, you've been accustomed to eating this way for like 30 plus years or whatever. And you're like, oh, I gotta change this. Oh my God.
I mean, because a lot of the things that I was doing were causing other issues. Further, dealing with my hormones, so that was causing a change within that. So I definitely had to, come about and make some changes.
It's
Wow.
funny that you said it was your endocrinologist. Hearing it from him, you were like, "Wait a minute,
Yeah.
I got to get this
Right.
together." What?
Like I said, he's a sweet guy, very humble. I've never heard him raise his voice or be stern. He always kept the same tone.
Mhm.
But on that day, he had a different tone. I mean, he came in with the same nice bedside manners,
Mhm.
speaking,
Mhm.
and he sat down. And then once he got to that computer, he pulled up my lab work and he turned around and he said, "You've got to do something about this." And I was like,
So, oh,
"Oh yeah, yeah." He
Okay.
spoke and woke me up. And let me tell you, when I left that appointment, I went
Mhm.
to the grocery store, and it's just so funny how God works.
Mhm.
mm,
Oh my God.
Mhm.
I went to the grocery store to get vegetables. I was like, you know what? I'm changing everything. I want no seasoning. I was already mad.
mm,
I'm getting no salt seasoning. I'm looking for all the vegetables. I'm just like I'm strictly vegetables. And so I was on the season aisle, and this young man, he walked up to the aisle too, and he said, "God, I'm trying to find some." He said, "I want something good to eat, and my mom is gonna cook this for me tonight." He said, "But I want something, another seasoning to put on it." He was like, "You know what I mean?" And I was like, "Yeah, I understand what you're saying." And he was like, he said, "So what you think I should get?" So I said, "So what you got a taste for?" So then he was like, "I don't know. I just know I don't want the regular taste to it." So I was like, "Okay, well, this is good." I'm pointing out different things. That's good. And so then he was like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll try, this, that." And so it kind of went silence. And then he turned back to me. He said something about what he does. He's like he focused around nutritionists.
Mhm.
okay.
So he was like, I have a shop, where we have healthy smoothies and teas, we
Oh,
just go
wow. Look at God.
Mhm.
right. We
Mhm.
focus on, people being healthy eaters, what they put in their body.
Mhm.
I just looked at him
Wow. Like,
because, right. I'm like, and he said, do you have a minute to maybe come up to the store? I can show you the products we have. And I said, sure. And so he
okay.
gave me his number and everything. And when I went up there, he was surprised that I showed up. He said,
Oh,
Okay.
he said,
Oh,
I didn't think
okay.
you were gonna come.
you
He
didn't
said, I
think
think
so?
you're not. Right. He said, I didn't think you were gonna come. He said, because I think he was just starting off too, with
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
store and everything and trying to promote. And so he had to get enough courage to talk about it. So
Yeah.
right. So so he was like, he never, gone to a grocery store and talked to somebody. I was the first. So he was like, so I was
Wow.
really surprised that you came, but I was like, you just don't know you're really a blessing to me.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
told him
Wow.
my story about what I had gone through that day. And I said, so, I felt like I couldn't even let you down, not even you, but myself, because I felt like God put you right there
Right
at
there in the face
that
on the aisle in the
for
grocery
On
a
store.
that aisle,
reason. Right.
Yeah.
On
it,
that aisle for a reason. And there
for
was
a
no way
reason.
I was going to ignore that.
Mm.
No way.
Mm. Look, he
Yeah.
be using everybody, everybody,
Mm.
everybody. Don't
Mm.
don't be
Yeah.
sad. Look,
That is powerful.
no,
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Wow.
you just made somebody just jump out their chair right now. Okay.
I know that's right. Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Yeah.
A question. Thank you so much for sharing. That's something that happens when you know I shut it down. It was something from God. So that's powerful. Are
Mhm.
now I know Bear kind of touched on it, but are you experiencing any symptoms commonly associated with hormonal changes such as hot flashes,
Mm.
night sweats, or mood swings?
Yes, honey. Yes. Because menopause tends to slow us down with our age. It's just it it does a lot to us. Menopause does a lot to us. Oh my God. And I can say for me, yes, I have gone through those hot flashes, those night sweats, mood swings. And sometimes my oldest daughter, we'd be talking on the phone, and I said, "Oh, I got to turn on the AC," and she's like, "Mom, it is below 13 outside, and you got on the AC." And I'm like, "Yes, I'm hot."
Oh my goodness.
So, menopause, bring a lot of changes on, to us. And I can say with my hormonal changes, the things that I have, done differently for me when it comes to that is I had to change a lot of my eating habits. I had to change my eating habits. I had to, oh my God, I had to cut out sweets because, there are certain things that you would need to cut out to where you won't experience, these hot flashes and night moods. So, that means cutting out sweets.
Oh, boy.
And I love my sweets. I know, that anything, even your beverages, cutting back on any type of
Girl.
Making changes to what type of oils you use when you're cooking. I use olive oil or I do coconut oil. So I had to make some lifestyle changes. How, like I said, what I'm putting into my body, and when I learned to make those changes, then I stopped experiencing a lot of the night sweats. I didn't experience that anymore. And it was all because of what I had decided to make a change with doing. And it all with, research. You got to read and do your research. And that's what helped me.
Yeah.
That's wow.
You ain't lying about the night sweats, sis. Gone.
Yeah.
Not even night sweats, them daytime sweats.
But I think I got some during the day, but not like I do at night. At night, yes, I get them, and it's bad because I sleep with a ceiling fan. I would be sleeping with my ceiling fan, and like I said, in the AC, and it's already free. Outside it's freezing.
Yeah, I'm definitely relating with you, darling. Definitely relating. Just saying.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I am very. I'm actually. So I'm curious about how are you prioritizing your self-care, maintaining your own mental, emotional well-being this time of change and transition.
So with mental health, I mean, there's a lot of things that I've experienced that caused me to have to take a step back. And when you was talking about self-care, because I'm big with talking about to people about self-care, being overwhelmed, being stressed and anxiety and all that stuff, and how that plays a part, of our mental health. And for me, going through not just these health changes, but I'm also transitioning to where, my daughter is getting ready to go off to college. So I'm gonna be an empty nester. And right. So so that's significant life change, for me within my home. And then again, dealing with, a parent that's aging, my mother is aging, so then I have to look at myself and say, okay, well, I got all these things going on, how am I taking care of myself mentally?
Yep.
So I had to, for me, what helps me a lot is to just try to stay organized a lot. That helps me with my mental health, as well as spending time outdoors. You know, I like to be outside. I'm an outside person. So I like to be outside. I need that sun, that extra vitamin D that we need in our body. I need that. And, just doing regular exercises, all that helps me, with my mental health, keeping that balance for my mental health. Like I said, knowing that I'm dealing with, juggling a teenager that's about to go to college, a mother that's aging, and trying to make sure that, she has everything she needs and she's going to her appointments and, just listen to the things that she talks about every day. So, and still trying to help her maintain some independence and not enabling her because my mom will still drive and do some things, so so that's just how I try to incorporate some type of self-care, even if it is, going to get my nails done, or my feet done, or going to get a massage, but sometimes it really just don't take all of that for me. Sometimes it just takes for me, like I said, being outside with nature, reconnecting, I can go to the lake and sit by the lake, just to sit there and sitting there to rejuvenate my mind and my spirit. So, it really doesn't take a whole lot for me.
It's interesting. You have like two sets of transitions going on simultaneously. Like it seems to happen like that way. Like Grace had two transitions went on simultaneously. I think like we have like a theme going on here. It's just interesting how that happens,
Right.
in the life cycle, a part of the life cycle. We're in, it's like we're almost in between. We're in between two transitions. You with your daughter and your mom. Same thing, Grace, you had between your mom and your kids. Starting in life ending. Yours is she's going to be into adulthood and your mom is aging. It's like we're all in between somehow. In between stages. Yeah.
We're in between stages and having to, like you said, we're starting over at some point, some kind of way. So yeah.
Absolutely.
So how has your sleep pattern changed since entering midlife?
God, sleep patterns.
Yes. Talk about it, sis. Talk about it, please.
It is awful. You hear me? I cannot wait till we hit stop because I will be going to bed.
Don't be respecting your time, sis. Girl.
I don't know. I mean, besides, like I said, with my sleep, I just noticed lately that it's getting difficult, and I'm the type of person that, when I get into bed, I like to have my laptop there and I turn on my shows. I want to watch all my TV shows, and I'm playing a game on my laptop, if it's a puzzle, it's still something relaxing, but still I have to separate myself from all that, because it doesn't help me at all. So yeah, I can tell you honestly, I was up to probably about 3:45, something like that this morning. I mean, the TV was off. I just couldn't go to bed. And then I think about two something, my child came and got to bed with me. And so we both couldn't go to sleep. So, I'm sitting there asking her, well, do you want to go for a ride? We can go for a ride. And I said, we can go for a ride or we can play Uno, Connect Four. What do you want to do? And she was like, well, go for a ride. Sound good. And she said, well, you gonna drive? I said, no, I was hoping you gonna drive so I can try to fall asleep. She said, well, that's okay. I don't want to go for a ride. But yeah, my sleep pattern is awful right now. But it is. I don't know.
I tell you, menopause don't be respecting nothing.
No, it doesn't. It
Don't.
doesn't.
It don't. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
it don't. Like, it got its own agenda.
Yeah.
It got its own agenda. And be looking at you like, so what you gonna do? What you want? Because I'm here. What you gonna do?
Oh my God.
Oh my
I gotta
God.
start over with some good sleeping habits.
Yeah, so that's another question. So what are some changes that you've taken in order to
Yeah,
practice
for
better
sure.
sleeping habits?
Yes, some things that I plan to incorporate in my life now to make some changes. I said I gotta establish a constant sleep schedule. That's one
Okay.
thing I said I'm definitely gonna work on is, I need to be in bed at a certain time and turn that TV off at a certain time. And
Right.
that goes for weekends too, because the weekend get here and I'm like, oh, Friday, yes, I can do that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I gotta stay on that same routine, because that's gonna help regulate. I mean, you being on a routine helps regulate. I can't say that enough. It helps regulate your body internal clock.
Yeah.
I definitely have to establish that a good sleeping pattern, behavior, and follow it to the T. And also, I mean, I think I need to just kind of create a relaxing environment, like I said, within my room setting, because like I said, I have my laptop and I have the TV, then I got my phone, so I'm going from one from the other. So, I've got to set that to the side because, again, I get in my room, I get in my bed, and I have one of those sleep number beds, where you can lift it
Oh,
up.
goodness, the best bed.
Well.
All righty then.
Yes.
So, I get it there and I get all comfortable, but I'm not sleepy, I'm comfortable, but I'm not sleepy. But I feel like I got to probably turn that TV off and maybe for an hour before it's time to go to bed and maybe read. I got to get back to reading, a book. I'm not a person that likes to read, the Kindles, read books on Kindles.
Yeah.
I need a book that I actually feel.
I should read, turn those pages.
Yes,
Right?
the good old days,
Right.
regular books, those
Right,
kinds.
regular books, those kinds. So, I got to get back into that. And I think, combining pretty much everything that I've said when it comes to making, starting over. I'm doing a whole start over with my health, my mind, my body, starting over to make it healthier. Because again, if I don't take care of myself, who will? So I definitely have to I have to practice all, some better habits so I can, be that person I need to be for my family.
Right. Yeah. Same here.
Definitely. I think one of the major themes for especially during the this stage is like really taking care of ourselves. Like menopause.
Yeah. And that's what we can't control. That's something else we can't control. So
right. We can't control it, but we can play our part in making it easy.
Right.
Like you brought up a good point about having your iPad and then your phone. I'm telling you, them electronics.
Oh yeah.
Those electronics, you tell your kids put the electronics up. at 8 o'clock.
We still be in there.
And we still in the
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
how that work? How that work? Like
I know.
how does that work? We're guilty. I mean, the electronics is that, it has its good points and it has its bad points. We got to learn. And I think I remember reading a study how they said, just like you talked about, Katina, like before you go to bed, like at least an hour before, shut those things down, because it takes that long for your mind to stop working from all that stimulation.
Right. Your mind is constantly spinning because you're either thinking about work or you're thinking about something. It's work, if it's your husband, if your loved one, or I mean, we're constantly thinking. And so now I know when I get into bed, I do a lot of deep breathing.
Okay.
Because that has helped. I just do a lot of deep breathing, just in, and out, and before I know it, I'm asleep.
Oh, good. Okay.
Well, that's good.
Gonna keep incorporating everything I can, like I said, with the exercise and eating right, and hopefully everything else will fall in place.
Oh, yeah. Want to remind our audience that we all go through changes. Like, we're up here going through it. We've been through it. Probably have more to come as long as we're living. So,
change is constant.
Change is constant, and that it's okay. Giving yourself grace as you're going through these changes.
Right. It's, change it's not the end, but it's the beginning of a new chapter that we're able to write another chapter in all the changes that happens to us. So
one thing I do want to point out is that we all talked about self-care.
Yes.
I can't emphasize that enough. Like, ladies, take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Like on the airplane, they talk about if the crashes and the mask falls,
put yours on
the
first.
mask on who?
You, yourself first, and then whoever next to you.
All right, help somebody after.
Right. That's a message in its own.
Right there, that part. So, ladies, take care of yourself. I can't emphasize it enough that self-care is so important.
It is.
And, part of starting over is knowing that you can do this again.
Oh, yeah. Right. If you don't get it right the first time, then you do it again.
You do it again.
Right.
Do it again.
And it's all right.
Yeah. Okay. And it's gonna be okay. So.
Yes, it's gonna be okay. Well, we thank you all for another time with us. This has been so much fun. This has been really great. As the Starting Over Sisters, and we hope that you have learned something, taken some nuggets, anything that you feel that you can utilize, by all means, use them. And we appreciate you coming to see us again. So until the next time, any parting words, sisters?
Okay to start over, no matter what changes come, because change is constant, and you're going to be okay.
Thank you, everyone, for coming to see us again. And until next time, take care of yourself.
Next time. Bye, you guys.
Bye.